Mexico is located on the American continent, south of the United States. Its capital, Mexico City, has approximately 23.2 million inhabitants. It is the third largest city in the world, behind Tokyo and New York. The language spoken in Mexico is Spanish. Mexico is a mountainous country with two main ranges, the Sierra Madre Oriental and the Sierra Madre Occidental. Between these two mountain ranges is the Mexican High Plateau, whose altitude varies from 1,500 to 2,300 m. To the south of American California, a long strip of land juts out into the Pacific Ocean. This is the peninsula of Baja California. With the mainland coast facing it, it delimits the Gulf of California, where many islands are located. The main summit of the country is the peak of Orizaba or Citlaltépetl, which is an active volcano with an altitude of 5,636 m. Two other volcanoes exceed 5,000 m. These are the Popocatépetl and the Iztaccíhuatl, asleep. In the west is the volcano of Colima, 3,860 m above sea level. All four belong to the neovolcanic Cordillera, a chain which, from a strictly geological point of view, separates North America from Central America. The geographers, them, consider that this limit is the Isthmus of Tehuantepec, that is to say a little more towards the southeast. To the south of the capital stands the Sierra Madre del Sur, which crosses the states of Guerrero and Oaxaca along the Pacific coast. Acapulco, the famous seaside resort, lies at its feet. The Tropic of Cancer divides the country into two zones, one temperate from the thermal point of view, dry subtropical climate, and the other with a tropical climate. The coasts of the state of Tamaulipas, located on the eastern side, experience a climate with a humid subtropical tendency. North of the 24th parallel experience colder temperatures during the winter months. South of the 24th parallel, temperatures are relatively constant throughout the year. However, they vary according to altitude. Its capital is Mexico City. The country has a population of around 120 million, of which around 8.8 million live in the capital, often abbreviated as DF, Distrito Federal, in Mexico. It is a federal state made up of 31 states and a federal district. The country has 2,394 municipalities. 78% of the population lives in cities in 2010. Mexico borders with Guatemala and Belize to the southeast and with the United States to the north. It is bordered by the Gulf of California to the northwest, the Pacific Ocean to the southwest, and the Gulf of Mexico to the east. The Caribbean Sea borders the eastern coast of Yucatan. Mexico is a country with a rich history and culture, and there are many important historical monuments located throughout the country. Here are some examples of historical monuments in Mexico. The Pyramids of Teotihuacan, located about 50 kilometers north of Mexico City, these pyramids are one of Mexico's most important archaeological sites, built by the pre-Columbian civilization of Teotihuacan. The Pyramids of Teotihuacan, this ancient city was built between the 1st and 7th centuries AD and was one of the most important centers in Mesoamerica. The most famous pyramids are the Pyramid of the Sun and the Pyramid of the Moon. The city was abandoned around the 7th century, but it was rediscovered and restored in the 20th century. The historic center of Mexico City, with its Spanish colonial buildings and Aztec civilization remnants, the historic center of Mexico City is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The historic center of Mexico City, this neighborhood is full of Spanish colonial buildings, Baroque churches, and Aztec archaeological sites. The National Palace and the Metropolitan Cathedral are two of the most important buildings on the main square of the Zócalo. The archaeological site of Chichén Itzá, located on the Yucatan Peninsula, this ancient Mayan city is famous for its impressive pyramid, El Castillo. The archaeological site of Chichén Itzá, this ancient Mayan city was built between the 6th and 10th centuries AD and became an important religious and political center. The Pyramid of El Castillo is one of the most famous buildings in Chichén Itzá, with its unique design that creates the illusion of a serpent descending the stairs when viewed from the front. The Mexico City Cathedral, this Baroque cathedral built in the 16th century is one of the most iconic buildings in Mexico City's historic center. The Mexico City Cathedral, this cathedral was built on the site of the former Great Aztec Mosque after the Spanish conquest. The building was constructed in the 17th century and is known for its spectacular Baroque architecture. The National Palace, located on Mexico City's main square, the Zócalo, this building houses Diego Rivera's murals that depict Mexico's history. The National Palace, this building was constructed in the 16th century on the site of the former palace of Aztec Emperor Moctezuma II. Today, the palace houses murals by Diego Rivera that depict Mexico's history. The archaeological site of Monte Alban, located in the state of Oaxaca, this site was the political and religious center of the Zapotec civilization. The archaeological site of Tulum, this ancient Mayan city is located on the Caribbean coast of the Yucatan Peninsula and was built in the 13th century. The well-preserved ruins of Tulum include temples, palaces, and defensive walls. The site is also known for its stunning view of the ocean. The Guadalupe Shrine, located in the northern suburbs of Mexico City, this shrine is one of Mexico's most important Catholic sites, housing the relic of the Virgin of Guadalupe. The Guadalupe Shrine, this shrine is one of Mexico's most important Catholic sites, housing the relic of the Virgin of Guadalupe, the patron saint of the country. The shrine is composed of several chapels and churches, including the Basilica of Guadalupe, one of the largest Catholic churches in the world. The archaeological site of Tulum, located on the Caribbean coast of the Yucatan Peninsula, this ancient Mayan city is famous for its well-preserved ruins. Certainly, here are some additional historical monuments in Mexico that you might find interesting. The Palenque archaeological site, located in the state of Chiapas, this ancient Mayan city was at its peak during the 7th century AD. The site features impressive examples of Mayan architecture, including the Temple of the Inscriptions, which contains the tomb of King Pacal. The Templo Mayor archaeological site, located in the heart of Mexico City, this archaeological site was the main temple of the Aztec capital of Tenochtitlan. The site was rediscovered in the 20th century and is now a museum that showcases Aztec artifacts. The Great Pyramid of La Venta, this ancient Olmec pyramid is located in the state of Tabasco and dates back to around 900 BC. The pyramid is made of clay and earth and is one of the oldest and largest pyramids in the Americas. The Casa Azul, Frida Kahlo Museum located in the Coyoacan neighborhood of Mexico City, this museum was the home of the famous Mexican artist Frida Kahlo. Today, the museum houses a collection of her artwork, personal belongings, and artifacts from her life. The San Juan de Ulua Fortress, located in the city of Veracruz, This fortress was built by the Spanish in the 16th century to protect their colonial interests. The fortress has played a significant role in Mexican history, as it was the site of several battles and sieges during the Mexican War of Independence. The Guanajuato Mummies Museum, located in the city of Guanajuato, this museum features the preserved bodies of mummies that were exhumed from a local cemetery in the 19th century. The mummies were naturally preserved due to the dry climate in the region, and the museum provides a unique glimpse into the lives and customs of the people of Guanajuato in the past. The Mitla archaeological site, located in the state of Oaxaca, this ancient Zapotec city was an important religious center and features intricate stone carvings and mosaics. The site is also known for its unique architecture, which features intricate geometric patterns. The Monarch Butterfly Biosphere Reserve. This reserve is located in the state of Michoacán and is home to millions of monarch butterflies that migrate from Canada and the United States each year. The reserve is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and offers visitors the opportunity to witness this incredible natural phenomenon. The Cathedral of Puebla. This Baroque cathedral is located in the city of Puebla and is known for its ornate facade and impressive bell towers. The cathedral was built in the 16th century and is one of the most important religious buildings in Mexico. The Guanajuato City Museum, located in the city of Guanajuato, this museum is housed in a former convent and features exhibits on the history and culture of the region. The museum is also home to a collection of pre-Columbian artifacts and colonial-era art. The Yogal Archaeological Site, located in the state of Oaxaca, this ancient Zapotec city was inhabited between 500 BC and 1000 AD and features impressive examples of Zapotec architecture, including a boar court and a palace complex. The National Museum of Anthropology, located in Mexico City's Chapultepec Park, this museum is one of the most important museums in Mexico and features exhibits on the country's indigenous cultures and history. The museum is home to a vast collection of archaeological artifacts, including the Aztec calendar stone. The Tlatelolco Archaeological Site, located in the northern part of Mexico City, this archaeological site was the site of the largest market in the Aztec Empire. Today, the site features the ruins of several Aztec temples and a museum that showcases artifacts from the site. The El Triunfo Mining Museum, located in the state of Baja California Sur, this museum is housed in a former silver mine and features exhibits on the history of mining in the region. The museum is also home to a collection of antique mining equipment and tools. The San Francisco Church, located in the historic center of Guadalajara, this church is one of the most important colonial-era buildings in the city. The church features an ornate facade, a Baroque-style interior, and a collection of religious art and artifacts. The Xochicalco archaeological site, located in the state of Morelos, this ancient city was built by the Olmec, Toltec, and Aztec civilizations and features well-preserved examples of Mesoamerican architecture. The site also includes a ball court, an observatory, and a temple complex, the Anthropology and History Museum of Tijuana, located in the city of Tijuana. This museum features exhibits on the history and culture of the region, including its indigenous roots, colonial history, and modern-day culture. The museum also houses a collection of pre-Columbian artifacts and contemporary art. The San Miguel de Allende Historic District, located in the state of Guanajuato, this colonial-era town is known for its well-preserved architecture, cobbled streets, and colorful buildings. The historic district is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and is home to several important landmarks, including the Parroquia de San Miguel Archangel Church. The Tequila Express, this train tour takes visitors from the city of Guadalajara to the town of Tequila, where they can learn about the history and production of tequila, Mexico's national drink. The tour includes visits to several tequila distilleries, as well as cultural performances and tastings. The Sumidero Canyon, located in the state of Chiapas, this canyon features dramatic cliffs, waterfalls, and wildlife, including crocodiles and monkeys. Visitors can take boat tours of the canyon and hike along its trails. The Casa de los Azulejos, located in the historic center of Mexico City, this building is known for its ornate facade, which is covered in blue and white tiles. The building was built in the 18th century and is now home to a restaurant and a cultural center. These are just a few examples of the many historical monuments and sites in Mexico. From ancient ruins to colonial architecture to modern museums and galleries, Mexico has a rich and diverse cultural heritage that is reflected in its many historical landmarks.